Welcome to 2026 where everyone wants to open a fucking med spa. And doesn't realize how hard it is when you're literally getting text messages at 3 a.m. saying, what is this? And then you have invoices that you got to pay. You haven't paid yourself. And you have all of these people that are calling you. Your family thinks you're rich, but you're drowning in debt.
Girl, same. We live the same life.
Listen, it's going well. So let me know how your 26 is going.
Laura, VP and Crystal here. We're back. Broke as ever. It's going to be an unhinged episode, I can tell.
No, seriously.
So Vivi's going through it right now, guys.
I am.
She's
Tell
going
us
through
what's
a renovation.
So as my patients know, I am opening up my own office. And yes. So I have been in my space for 4 years. I literally work in like a little 60 square foot room.
It works.
It works. My patients come see me for me. But when I started off, I had this beautiful idea of like, oh my God, I'm going to have this med spa. It's going to be amazing. It's what Instagram shows you from all these influencers. I'm going to be like that. But
as we all.
Yeah. But you don't realize until you're in it, all of the headaches that goes through it with contractors. I'm dealing with HOA problems right now. And just all of the extra overhead cost and all of the extra money that you don't have that's going towards this. And all of your invoices that you have to pay. And for
Companies coming up.
Yeah. And for me, I'm a solo provider. So I do everything.
Yeah.
My husband helps me, but for the most part, I have to also help guide him on like what is what. But for the most part, it's me. I'm bookkeeper. I am my own CPA. I'm a scheduler. I'm front desk. And yes, people will be like, well, Vivi, just hire people to help you. I work in a 60 square foot room.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to be breathing on top of each other. I don't even have somebody to create content
you have plans
for me.
to hire in your new location?
Yes. My first person will be a front desk.
Yeah.
100%. And then somebody to help, content. Well, that will be Johnny for a little bit because he'll need to help me with content creation. But, for me, we compare. I compare myself a lot to other
We all do.
practices, and it's the evil. So I've
It is
Crystal
evil.
actually asked me before we started, she was like, are you okay? I haven't heard from you. And I was like, I literally shut off my phone for 5 days because I was like, I can't deal with it.
And that's good.
I was like, I'm not going to deal with TikTok. I'm not going to deal with Instagram. I had like 250 unread messages. And I just, going
Renovation pain is just when you are out of control and you can't, you're trying to drive something forward, and we're very progressive women, and you have all of these barriers that you're just knocking down.
Yeah.
And then you see another one and you're like, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, literally. And it's hard because I'm a very patient person. When people are like, I don't know how you're not freaking out. And I'm like, it's been a year. So I'm now just freaking out, whereas most people probably would have freaked out prematurely. I've been very patient and understanding with the whole
I'd have been at the commissioner's office by now.
But y'all know me, I was on Fox News too.
So,
but that is the dark side of it. However, me always trying to, and I always look on the bright side of things,
sweetie.
right? So I'm always like, okay, once it's done, I'm going to finally be it. Yeah, I'm just going to be sitting at my front
2026 is your year, bitch. It's just work. It's just worth it. And I think it's easy to be disillusioned by this idea that life should be easy.
Yeah.
And
just owning a med spa.
Just owning a business. Any business in general.
Business.
And
people, worth it is going to be work.
Yes. Is there a luxurious life with that? Possibly. But it comes with a lot of work and
a lot of years.
Grit, determination, discipline, being broke sometimes, and people
not
still
paying yourself.
Not paying yourself.
Yeah.
Not getting the extra Chipotle avocado guacamole because you're like, try never skimp on that. But my bank account just suffers later. But it's just the things that people don't see, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, she drives a nice car. She goes to nice places. And I'm like,
and I have so much guilt where I just don't want anyone to think there's any bragging or any boasting
that is my
going
problem.
on.
I just talked to Muhammad the other day and I was like, I really want to start posting more content, whether that's my med spa or me. But I'm like, I don't want people to ever think I'm boasting.
Yeah, like I don't know
Yeah.
how people like, and again, I'm not judging, but like
I
go in their
know.
car and like pano all of their cars and they're just like, oh, work hard, you'll get here. And like, I just would never want someone to feel bad.
But that's that
It's the illusion
comparison.
though, but it's the illusion that is how you should live.
Right.
And that what she's saying is like, just don't compare yourself. And I don't think that person is doing it harmfully, right?
People want to see it.
Yeah.
I was talking to my personal trainer about this. I
yeah.
didn't even want to post like on Christmas. I panned the food. We made like a feast.
I'm so weird about
And I
hosting
literally
food.
closed it. And I was like, I don't know who doesn't have food right
Yeah,
now.
that's
and
my
it's
biggest thing.
Christmas.
And that's why I don't share a lot on my personal
But it's a
page,
fine
'cause-
line because I need content.
Same.
So I'm like, how do I be a good freaking person
Yeah.
and still
You don't.
get,
You just have to
know-
say, excuse my French, fuck it. I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, and that is what's happening for me this year as I'm like,
Delulu Queen is on the run.
I've always been
She's
Delulu.
coming, guys. I'm
but
scared.
you better be scared. And you also better sign up for the retreat.
Oh, I'm going to your retreat.
So,
I am
Laura's
going
opening
to your
up a
retreat.
retreat.
Me and my
We're holding her
bestie,
accountable.
Is it abroad?
we're going to give you guys options.
Okay.
One of the options are abroad.
I would like the abroad option.
I
want
know
abroad.
you would.
Is it in Italy?
One of them is close to Italy.
Like,
Well, so one of them is Sardinia, and then the other is close to Italy.
wait, are you buying property in Sardinia?
I wish. Do you think I'm rich? God, she thinks I'm rich. I am up to here
But
in
you
debt.
have a med spa.
I have a med spa. I'm rich. I wear Louis Vuittons, which I don't. These are from Marshalls, but I do have some luxury stuff that I have invested in. As I'm,
Yeah.
no, we all do. But that just means like some people go buy, fancy cars or fancy houses.
Yeah.
I don't. I just buy things for
I
myself.
like
and
fancy
vacation.
cars, and like fancy things, but I like them for me truly. Like
That's okay. That's what you like. I like fancy vacations. That's it. But you like it all.
I love fancy things. Don't get me wrong. I
all
am a
do.
bougie.
We
Girl.
all do.
Johnny's actually worse than me. You
Is
know,
he?
I have to simmer him down.
Oh, you guys are both really well controlled.
So he is very much more bougie. He makes me look like a poop putt.
That's so funny.
You know, all the nice things that I have is because he bought them for me without me,
what
picking
a
out
bad
stuff.
quality in your husband.
Yeah, it's an awful quality. Don't find a man like him.
Oh my gosh.
But to go back is that sometimes people look at what we do as like, you are rich.
And you make so much money.
You
Why
make
are
so
you
much
charging me this much for a
money,
syringe?
You know? And
I
it's
hate
just
that.
like, no, there's a lot of
It's like my
backside
plumbing
that
went
goes
out
with
2
it.
weeks ago and it was $2,000.
2,000?
So,
Oh yeah,
there's
because
that.
people were
That makes me
putting
wanna cry.
paper towels.
Oh yeah. To whoever, I'd like to take a moment if I could.
Yes, please.
Whoever put the fancy restaurant style towels that I leave in the bathroom for you guys for your luxury and enjoyment down the toilet, and there were
Mine
about
get
12
Amazon
of
paper
them.
towels.
There were 12 of them that I had to pay $2,000 to snake underneath my
No, but
entire
why
med
would they do
spa.
that? Like, why would
I
they
don't
think that
freaking
that's
know.
okay?
They are such big towels, and they're like the nice thick ones that you get at like Fleming's. It's actually where I got the idea to get them. I was like, okay, cool.
Not the Four Seasons.
I love this. I want people to feel luxurious in my little bathroom. And we now have a hand dryer that sounds like a jet is starting every time
That's
someone
why
dries
I'm putting
their hands.
I'm gonna do cotton hand towels. So you can't
that's a
flush
good
them down
idea.
the
I saw a
toilet.
couple
and
of
then,
those, yeah.
you know, because I don't like.
Well,
but then
people
it's like a
waste.
sanitation.
No, you
thing.
wash
you
it.
no, you throw it in the bin.
There's a I'll have a
No, it's
basket
not the same
underneath.
person.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah, like
it's
you
like
know,
a one
you know,
and
like
done.
the
I get it,
small,
I
like
get it,
6
I
by
get it, I
6
get it.
hand towels.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would do. I would roll them up, and
We
then
just have
that's like
such laundry problems, man. Like the girls are constantly doing laundry, and they're like, I just the thought of how many patients come through the
I
doors
just
having
got the
that many
Samsung
hand
all in
towels.
one. Y'all are missing out.
you know,
That's all it is.
Samsung is actually the worst appliance for washer
It washes
and
and dries at the same time. And
dryer. Oh, that's nice.
it's all in one.
I did see that one when it came out. I was
Okay, that's
excited about
luxury.
it. Yeah.
I put it in to go to bed and I wake up and it's dry. I have not had. Girl, I'm telling you, it's a washer and dryer in one. So think about it for the med spa.
That's
But
amazing.
Oh, maybe you should get that.
yeah, it's not.
That's actually not a bad
Another
idea.
luxurious thing
but-
that we're.
Yeah, but just people don't see that. So when they're haggling me down to like almost, wanting the cost of what I spent on this, and I got no money to pay anyone, even myself, and I have, these invoices for these plumbing, for patient things that happen that I'm just like, man,
I'm over it.
I'm over it, man.
The
Well,
other
let's talk
day-
about the employees, right? So,
Who also think you're
I
rich.
don't have employees, but I know from an employee because I have a lot of other friends who vent to me as employees, and I always saying like, hey, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Like, I know you're getting paid X amount of this, and I know you're generating this amount of money for this practice, but you don't see all of the overhead that runs that office.
Right.
Yes, of course, you may be bringing X amount of money, but you don't know how much the cost of their products cost. You don't know how much business insurance
I see that
costs.
on both sides,
you know,
though.
malpractice costs. Yes and no.
Some
to
people
be
are
fair.
so greedy and they pay their people nothing. Like my close
Yes,
friend,
but to me, coming as a
she didn't even get a Christmas bonus.
but see, like for me,
like,
I'm like,
what?
you are getting paid very fair.
Right.
You've only,
In that case, it's
you've been
different.
only injecting for, I don't know, like a small amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, so.
They all got Christmas bonuses and we did a holiday party and they got gifts and, you know.
But Crystal, you're so generous.
You are
know?
generous.
It's still, the margins are still great, you
Of
know? So
course.
it's like I have a little bit of lack of patience for owners who don't take care of their
No,
people.
I 100%
just
agree
like,
because I know
come
where
on,
you came
guys.
from. But I'm just saying, like, from a business
It's both.
standpoint, you see it where I'm just like, oh, yeah, they're being shitty owners.
It just comes back to the point of it comes from people not seeing you as a business owner, what you have to take care of. And sometimes your employees don't see it. If they've been with you long enough, they know.
Oh, yeah, I've been
especially
taken
yours.
advantage.
Yeah.
You have, right? And I think that's your point. That's your point. Is like people are coming and saying like, "Oh, I want $40 an hour for front desk." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?"
What? I didn't even
Are
make that as a nurse. What? Doing CPR?
So it's I think it just
$28 an hour.
comes as they think immediately you own a med spa, you're rich, right? And that brings us to the point of owning the med spa does not whatsoever make you rich or successful. You actually have to know how to run it. You have to have good
It's
profit
actually
margins.
really easy to run them into the ground.
Yeah.
It's super easy.
Yeah. So many med spas
Like,
closed last
I
year.
feel like I'm on that route.
You are not. Don't
Hey,
even say
don't you
that.
dare
You're
ever
gonna
say
be
that.
fine.
You are perfect
I
and
just
your
think the
business is
glory that
thriving.
comes with owning a med spa. Like
Yes.
when I first opened, I was super excited, and I still love what I do. I just think the glamour behind it is like, I was in Egypt for the past 2 weeks and Dubai, but
Looked amazing.
if you don't, thank you. If you don't work, you don't make money.
Correct.
Right?
There's no
And
PTO.
so there's no PTO.
And that's why I've shifted truly. Like I am starting to hone more in on skin because I really think that lasers and skin rejuvenation is what makes most people happy.
Good.
Happy to
And
hear that,
I know. I
Crystal.
love
and
that.
It's something to where I'm like, if I can't be there to push the needle, my girls are great. My MPs are amazing. They're very talented. But as we open locations, my focus is going to be skin. And how can we make sure people are happy with minimal risk?
It's your biggest organ.
And it's something that people get a laser, everyone looks good.
Yeah.
But you can hire multiple people to do fillers and it doesn't always look good depending
Not only
on
that,
the
the
provider.
profit margins aren't the best because
It's risky.
people don't think that we're spending an arm and a leg on fillers, and we are, right?
We
Some
are.
people are getting them from Europe and abroad.
Sometimes I lose my patience and I'm like, do you know how much this syringe costs
I
me?
say that all the time.
This was a $350 syringe
Correct.
from
Sometimes
Juvederm.
$400, and I'm like,
and you're asking me for a $300 service. Can you do the math real quick for me?
right. And
So I'm
it's
paying
just
you?
it's not as glamorous as it looks, but it's rewarding when you get the patients that
It's
are happy
super rewarding. and I
Um,
think that's what keeps me
going.
it.
Same. No, I
for
agree.
the most part. Obviously, like the administration side of things is very challenging. If I'm an injector and I'm walking in, I'm like, I love my job. I love what I do. I love
If
my
I could inject
patients.
every day, I
All
would
day,
be,
every day.
my
I would
hips would be
too.
in the
Yeah.
toilet, but I
I-
would feel great.
I told
Same.
Johnny, I was like, once we're in the office, like my new office, I was like, I'm going to be an employee. I'm an injector. Don't ask me for anything. I don't know how much anything costs. I don't know what our
That's-
books look
yeah,
like.
yeah.
I am clocking in and clocking out.
Right.
And I told him, I was like, you're going to run everything. His background is operations. So he likes
That's great.
figuring
He just
out how
needs
to
the
do it.
industry knowledge.
He just needs the industry knowledge.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's where
comes
I'm
with
trying to
time.
help him.
And with you.
Yeah, and I'm very blessed to have a partner who's willing to take that side with
and it's
me.
cute. I see him at events. He's like looking and he's like
Yes.
looking at the stuff.
Vivi,
He's very,
Vivi
like,
didn't
observant.
answer her phone once, so I messaged Johnny. I was like, tell your wife to call me now.
I want Johnny's number.
She DM'd him.
Oh,
No,
okay,
but I'm
I
going to
can do
get it.
that.
Don't
She
worry.
did.
I'm going to get
You
it.
guys can have his number.
Johnny and Crystal
Yeah.
and V.
My
Crystal
husband
and
calls
Laura.
me. My husband calls me FBI because he's like, if you don't get a hold of me, I know you will get to me somehow.
Yeah.
Well, you better know. So I'm glad
Yeah.
you do.
It was so funny. Me and Adam got in a fight a couple weeks back, and he he was like, "I'm going to get to the gas station." I don't know. He didn't even need gas, and I
He just
literally
needed to get away from you.
check his location, and I see he just stopped in the gas station. He was just sitting there, and I just texted. I was like, "Babe,
I'm sorry.
just come back." I'm
sorry.
so pathetic.
And that's a stress too, right? I'm sure you were stressed about work and your med spa and your plumbing and shit.
Yeah.
That's really the
And
main
the
issues
jet,
in our
yeah.
relationship.
And so, like you were saying, like a lot of med spas go straight into the ground. Sometimes people open med spas with no business knowledge. And I mean, none of us truly actually had business experience or knowledge, right? We are all medical providers.
I think that's what was shocking for me is that it was just you just don't think about it.
You don't
And
think
I
about
remember
it,
talking,
yeah.
my sister married a lovely man named Peter, and he's in business. They both met working for Lifetime Fitness, which is actually coming to Orlando.
I love Lifetime.
I love
Are
Lifetime
they coming?
Fitness. Yeah, they're opening in March. They have a
In
building
Winter Park, right?
in Winter Park.
I read about it.
Yeah. So she's kind of high up with the food and bev part of the company. And then he used to work
did we get a free membership?
I don't know. I hope I do. She's my sister. I hope so.
I'm just kidding.
You know, I was talking to him about the business. This was probably like a year ago. And he was like, who does your books? And at the time I didn't have a bookkeeper. And I was like, me? And he was like, so what about like your tax planning? Or like, what about your like invoices and receivables? And what about like all
Your
these things? And I'm
sheets, your this
I
and
was
that.
like, I didn't even know. Like some of them I
I'm
do.
so bad at that.
But like, yeah, like it was just nothing. And that's when I really started to shift that I was like, if I want to grow this into the company that I want,
Correct.
I did not go to finance school. I did not go to business school. And
You
nor do
need
I
someone.
want to.
Yeah.
And so I got a bookkeeper and I got, I offloaded to mainly just get me out of hot water of what would happen if I didn't do that, if I want to scale. So it just depends on your goals and what you want to do.
I think so, yeah.
My sister-in-law has her MBA, and she was like, so
She's like, this isn't normal.
what's your, like, what is your
All these business questions.
ROI and like all these freaking
On
acronyms.
this procedure.
And I was like, I don't know.
How much is per minute?
I see
I'm
that
like, all I know is that my invoices get paid. I have enough money at the end of the month, and that's it. And she's like,
I'm glad it's not just me. You hear that,
can't do that.
Mohammed? It's not just me.
so, but I came from.
No, Adam's horrified when he started working with us. He was like, so who's looking at the bank every day? Who's making sure this? And I'm just like, I just like kind of go
I
by
just
my
log in.
instinct,
I
like,
just log
I
in.
just go
Me
with my
and God,
gut.
baby. Me and God.
Yeah,
I'm just winging it.
It's better now.
Yeah.
But it's something that I was just like, wow, this is crazy.
But it's really, really hard because it's like you don't know the business side of it until you're just in it.
Till you're
and
in
even
it.
for my sister-in-law, she was, because I actually told her, I was like, I think I'm going to go back to school and get a business degree. And she was like, why? She's like, you're already
Just
in it.
teach
You've
yourself.
already learned
Yeah.
it.
Correct.
You're already figuring it out. Maybe you might know like the proper version of it, but you've tried to figure it out. Oh, and ChatGPT, seriously.
My
You
best
are
friend.
a CPA in Florida.
Tell me what I need. What paperwork to file.
Don't take legal advice from ChatGPT.
No, I actually have
But-
an amazing accountant.
Yeah.
His name is Ed Coulter, if y'all need him. And yes, this is absolutely a marketing advertisement. You better pay me, Ed. He's amazing. He's at Tax Zone. Honestly, guys, I couldn't live without him.
Here's his number, and he
I
My
call
CPA is
him-
literally my house
I
priest.
call him like
so.
5 times a day. And he always takes, who is it?
Our priest in our church is our CPA. So I
That's
don't know.
great.
You can't get any higher to trust than that
That's
for me.
great.
So
I had so my parents actually owned businesses when I grew up, and I was like, I
they're
always told myself,
entrepreneurs.
I will never own a business.
Because you've seen the struggle.
Never. They
here
I mean,
you are
my,
owning a building.
yeah, they work 7
owning
days
a
a week.
dad.
Yeah,
Same with my
and I
dad.
was like, I will never ever do that. And now here I am. But what I've learned from them, I was like, I will never do what they did.
work-life balance.
And I'm going to do things different. Very old school. There was no advertisement. I mean, my parents owned nail salons. So it was kind of like you open a salon and you're just like, all right, I hope we get business.
They're coming. Yeah.
They're coming, whereas like now it's like, no, you have to.
And that business is more about efficiency. Like the more people
Correct.
you can come in and
It's
paint those
volume.
nails, the more
Yes,
you can do.
Exactly. And my parents worked 12 hours a day. And I was like, I would never, ever do that. And here I am working
And
16
that's just
hours a day.
Yeah. And
8 hours in the
different
chair
kind of
and
work,
8 hours
though.
at home.
Yeah, it's different.
But it's a lifestyle that I would never change. I love it. And, obviously if you are opening up a med spa,
Just get
have a lot of support.
Yeah.
A lot of
Correct support system or correct like paperwork, legalities, all that stuff.
And I think know your vision, like know what you want to do.
Your goals, visions,
because
all
that's
that.
where it's easy to go on Instagram and see people are doing this and they have this device and that's the biggest thing too is when you bite off more than you can chew with technology or with, debt.
Devices and everything.
And
right,
then you
yeah.
end up really having to create a machine just to
Pay
just
it
to
out.
make up something.
like it's,
So the biggest advice before the business obviously is to hone in on your skills as an injector.
Yes.
Like working for someone is not as bad as people make it out to be. Like it's
Well, and patient management in the chair.
yeah,
Like that's the
loved
biggest
it.
thing. Like
Yeah.
if you are able to take a patient and prevent problems by communicating, if you have a provider or you sell for a provider who are not strong in communication and you have patients who are just falling into traps of getting upset, getting unhappy,
Right,
you know,
right.
and you're not good
Consultation
at the
goes back to the
consultation. So
consultation.
if that's constantly happening, your life is gonna suck.
And you're not ready.
You're not gonna make money.
Hone in on your skills.
You know.
Get some mentors, get some training programs, and then maybe open something if you feel like it. Otherwise, go to work, inject, go home, and be happy.
Yeah, girl.
That's it.
I'm like,
Can I work for one of you guys?
can I work for you, Crystal? Can I work
Let's
for
all
somebody?
just join forces.
Crystal,
Anyways.
are you looking for another injector?
I actually do want to take you to dinner. But anyway.
Well, if you guys, outro is awful.
No, we love what we do. It's great. Obviously, if you have questions, you can always reach out to us.
We are thankful.
I'm
we
an
are
open
blessed.
book. I know you guys are too, but just, do your research, and it's not as glamorous as it looks. Be easy on us, patients, and your providers also just be easy on them. We love you. See you next week.
Bye.